The Red Sox have been very close to finalizing their opening day roster, and yesterday they finalized their opening day roster in terms of position players. But who got the spot and why? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and before we get into today's video, opening day is just 24 hours away. We are going to be live on this channel at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow to watch opening day together. So if you want to do that, again, that is going to be 2 p.m. Eastern on this channel. Anyways, with opening day coming, the Red Sox had a couple of positions still left in question, right? You had the last bench spot on this Red Sox team, and you still have who the last pitcher on this Red Sox roster is going to be come opening day. Well, we got an answer to half of that question. We now know who the last bench spot is going to. We still don't know who that last bullpen spot going to be. We have rumors that it's going to be from outside the organization, so this may be a 2-video type kind of day. But until that happens, what we are going to do in today's video is we are going to break down who that last bench spot went to, why this decision may have been made, what this means for each of the players, and how this is going to affect the 2023 Red Sox. But before we get into that, if you want more Red Sox content from this channel, from Red Seat Radio, I highly recommend becoming a member of this channel. By becoming a member of Red Seat Radio, you unlock special perks like members only live streams once a month beginning tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. You can unlock series previews and analysis for every single series of the 2023 season, including what I will be betting on throughout the 2023 season. You can unlock custom Red Sox emojis, access to the members only chat on this page, and so much more. So if you want more Red Sox content, hit the link in the description below and become a member today. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. So what moves did the Red Sox make yesterday? Well, the first thing they did was they optioned Jaren Duran to AAA Worcester. Now, I actually think this is a good idea specifically for Jaren Duran. And the reason I think that is because Jaren Duran is 26 going into his 27-year-old season. Now, that isn't especially young for a rookie, especially in baseball years, but it's not old either. Jaren Duran still has the opportunity to improve on his game and tweak some things to hopefully become a regular producer at the major league level. I'm not saying a regular as in an everyday starter, but maybe even a bench role or something like that. He still has the opportunity to do that. What AAA allows him to do is make adjustments to his swing, his approach, and his mental attitude and get him to a place where he needs to be. And so far, he has been doing that this spring because he does have all three of those things. Brand new, right? A brand new swing that we've talked about, a brand new plate approach that we've talked about, and a brand new mental attitude. So far this spring, it seems to be working out because in spring training, he had a 333 average with a 474 on base percentage, 3 doubles, and a home run, right? So we are starting to see those adjustments hopefully make a difference in Jaren Duran's game, but it's just too small of a sample size. The Red Sox need to be sure that Jaren Duran actually has the ability to make these changes and could be a productive player on this Red Sox team. And the best place to do that and the best way to do that is to get him every day at bats. If the Red Sox were to bring him onto this roster and have him be that sort of fifth outfield position, that lefty off the bench, he's not going to get constant at-bats every day, and he's consistently going to be put in different situations. Putting him in AAA allows him to play every single day, work on these changes, really kind of fine-tune these changes, so when he does get his opportunity at some point this year, because it's more than likely he will get that opportunity, right? Between injuries, maybe some underperformances from someone on the bench, or he plays himself into that role this time when he comes up, which may very well be his last chance to be a sort of regular on this Red Sox team. He actually has the ability to go out and prove that he can do it. So overall, in my opinion, Jaren Duran going to AAA is the right move for Jaren Duran right now. No pressure of having to perform in Boston and keep your job, right? He can work out the kinks, he can work out all of the sort of stuff that may come up as he changes his stance, approach, and mental attitude. He can work on all of that without the added pressure of playing in Boston. So in my opinion, this move makes a lot of sense for the Red Sox and for Jarren Duran. But if Jarren Duran isn't going to be on this Red Sox team coming opening day, who is and who got that final bench spot and why? So who did get the last spot on this Red Sox roster in terms of position players? That person is going to be Raimel Tapia. Now, this is a fantastic story, not only because Raimel Tapia himself did everything he needed to do in spring training to earn himself a spot on this Red Sox team. In spring training, in 16 games, Raimel Tapia had a .317 average, a .378 on base percentage. He had 5 doubles, 2 home runs, and only 6 strikeouts. But it's also a great precedent for the Red Sox system, right? Because it proves that, hey, look, if you do everything the Red Sox need you to do, and you do it well, and you do it the way they want you to do it, there is going to be rewards for that, right? Raimel Tapia came into Red Sox spring training on a minor league contract, not even on the 40-man roster, and he played his way into a bench role. To me, that's really cool, and I think it sets a really great precedent. Now, what does this do for this Red Sox team, and why did they do it? Well, the biggest reason to me is because it adds versatility to this bench. If you take a look at the bench before Raimel Tapia was added, you had Connor Wong, your backup catcher, and worst case scenario middle infielder. You have Yu Chang, who's going to be your utility guy on the infield. And you have Rob Refsnyder, who's your 4th outfielder. The combination of all those guys, they're all righties. Adding Raimel Tapia gives you a lefty option off the bench, a guy who's been hitting really, really well lately. He can come in late in games if you need a right-handed pinch hitter situation. He's also pretty quick, right? He hasn't stolen a lot of bases in his career, but with the new rules and the bigger bases, his speed is going to be a factor later in games as a pinch hitter. And again, he is a 5th outfield type role, so he could at some point end up as a defensive replacement somewhere in the outfield if need be. However, he's not exactly the best defensively, so it'll probably be Rob Refsnyder 99.9% of the time. Now, Raimel Tapia is not going to be a guy who you are going to see every single day or every other day for this Red Sox team, but you'll probably see him once or twice a week later in games, either pinch running or pinch hitting. And it's still really important. It gives the Red Sox options off the bench. They don't always have to go to a righty, especially later in games. So in my opinion, this makes a ton of sense for the Boston Red Sox, and it's fantastic for Raimel Tapia. Now, like I mentioned, Raimel Tapia was not on the 40-man roster, so how are the Red Sox adding him? It hasn't been officially announced, but it was tweeted out by Julian McWilliams and then confirmed by a lot of other really reliable sources that the Red Sox are probably going to move Adalberto Mondesi to the 60-day IL to make room for Raimel Tapia on the 40-man roster. And I don't really love this idea that much. And the main reason for that is because as much as I like Yu Chang, I don't think he's going to be a guy who you can have as your middle infield depth throughout the entire year, right? Adalberto Mondesi has a really, really high ceiling, and I would have hoped to get him back sooner than that. But if the Red Sox feel as though they don't think he will be ready until 2 months into the regular season, then fine, right? If that's how it goes, it's how it goes. I would have preferred they'd done something else in the case that Adalberto Mondesi is ready to go sooner. I would have loved to have gotten him on this bench and playing in some games earlier than May, June, whatever it ends up being. You got to trust the Red Sox system here, and they think that he will not be ready for at least 60 days. So that's how they got Raimel Tapia on the bench. I think ultimately this decision came down to just who had the larger sample size. I completely understand Jaren Duran's reasoning for wanting to play in the WBC and represent a country that he has heritage of, but I do think it hurt his chances of making this team a little bit. Raimel Tapia, while he was gone, lit the world on fire and earned himself a spot, and Jarren Duran simply did not have the sample size to get that big league roster spot. At the end of the day, I think this is the right decision for the Boston Red Sox. Raimel Tapia is what he is. Jaren Duran, there's still a bit of a higher ceiling there, and they hope that he can reach it at some point. And worst case scenario, you drop Raimel Tapia, DFA him, hopefully can retain him in the minor leagues, and you could bring Jaren Duran up, and it's no harm, no foul, right? It's not a ton of money going to Raimel Tapia, and Jaren Duran does still have options available. So all in all, I think this was a good and smart move for this Red Sox team. Again, we are still awaiting news as to who the last bullpen roster spot is going to. I will update you guys as soon as possible on that, but until that happens, let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think of all this? What do you think of Raimel Tapia over Jaren Duran? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you think of Raimel Tapia's role on this 2023 Red Sox team, and what do you think it's going to be going forward? Let me know all your thoughts on the final roster spot move for the Red Sox in terms of position players down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe and like button. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Don't forget, we are going to be live tomorrow at 12 for members only and at 2 for everyone else. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.